First standing start of the night. Pierre Paolo will once again start on pole position with Jay alongside of him. David Butcher, great qualifying. He is up into third place, and Mike will start in fourth. John will start in fifth spot, and Devin will start in sixth, I believe. You can see him there. And then Aiden will round out the field in seventh place. As we're underway, here we go. And it's a great clean start from everybody. Again, you do not want to jump the start, but it was a great job by everyone to get off the line cleanly. As we're side by side a little bit further back into turn one. Looked like Mike was going to try a Hail Mary right there. That didn't work. Jay up into second place. As Mike's down to fourth, I believe David Butcher's gone up and past him now. As they hit the brakes for the first time. Well, real first time up into turn three. Now up out of four and into turn five. Mike a bit wide. Here comes Devin. They touch. Out of turn five, side by side they come. And Mike's off the track. I think he tried to give Devin a bit too much room. He's still up the track, weaving around all over the place. He's good now. John comes through with Aiden behind him. And for the race lead, you saw Jay just throw it in right there. He almost ran into the back of Pierre Paolo. I think Pierre Paolo went wide to not get run into right there. So what do you expect this time, Christian, now with this looking like being a lot closer?
It's a shame that the draft isn't a big part, because right now Jay is right on the bumper of Pierre Paolo. So it's going to be an interesting race, and there's going to be some good battles. You
saw Pierre Paolo there coming down the front straightaway, weaving around, trying to get heat in the tires. As you guys have said to me before, it takes about 3 laps for the tires to heat up, and Jay is trying to make this attack early. Does he try a move at turn 5 here? Pierre Paolo did kind of hit the sausage curb. Jay's not close enough. And wow, Pierre Paolo takes a lot of track right there. He's lucky he didn't just get track limits, or did he get track limits? He pulls over to the right to defend. Nope, still fine, so nothing from it. Devin up into third place. He's made his mark. He's gone up through the field now. Pierre Paolo's setting the pace and pulled away a little bit. Jay looks like he's closed back in through turn 6. Now up to turn 7 and 8. In the chicane, Jay again throws it in, but he misses the apex again. And this time he might not get it back. So let's go a little bit further back to Mike now, or excuse me, David Butcher. He's down to 4th spot as Devin's made his way. So that's the fastest lap as well. So great stuff from Devin, looking for his first win. And we saw this one again earlier, Christian. Hey, these two purple cars going at it. And it looks like we're in for a bit of a rematch now.
All of the end of last race, they were battling, and they're continuing at this race.
Yes, they are. Let's see if Mike can get there. David, I think, yeah, he did bull the corner a little bit. I don't think it cost him too much, though. Mike's still hanging in there as we head down. I think Mike slipped again. No, he's actually pulled that gap out a bit more and more. As Aiden and John continue to go at it. You can see them slaloming up further ahead. Pierre Paolo trying to break the draft, but I don't really think he needs to, because as you mentioned, the draft is just not really making a difference, at least not on this track. Let's go back to Aiden and John. Again, they've also separated. Aiden's pulled a bit away. Let's see if he can run down these top 2. And I know it says Devin down in 8th spot. That is incorrect. He's running the 88 right now. As we go back up to Pierre Paolo, who's in the race lead. 1:11.7. He really stepped it up that last lap around. Although Devin was able to match him, now he's on the back bumpers. Jay just couldn't quite go as quick as these two that last lap around. Was in the higher 112s, so these guys are in the high 111s. Let's see if Devin can make this pass stick. Back through 4 and up into turn 5.
Gets a very good exit out of there.
He did. He's got to run. Let's see if he can make this pass coming down the back straightaway. Waiting to see if he can get enough of a draft. It sort of looks like as soon as you get to the back bumper of another car, maybe there's a bit of an air bubble there. That or he just ran into the back of Jay. Although Jay did miss the corner. He slips wide. And I think he's clear. I'm not quite sure if he is clear. Jay's peeking to the bottom. Yes, he is clear of him and up into second place. And immediately as he does that, he completely misses the turn 7 apex. And does Jay dare get back to the inside? This is going to be tight. No, he couldn't quite get there. All in the meanwhile, Pierre Paolo sets another fastest lap in the race and is just putting the hammer down on these two. Great stuff right there. Now Devin up into second. Now can he possibly mount a charge? Just a little bit further back. Mike's gotten up through on David Butcher, so I think David made a mistake that last lap around. And he falls back to 5th. So now Mike on the cusp maybe of getting up into the podium spots, but he's still got to deal with David right behind him, especially now because he just ran wide at the exit of turn 3. And here comes David to the bumper. He had a bit of a look. I don't think he got a significantly worse exit right there, though, Christian. He's not going to be able to make the pass this time by. Let's go back up to that battle for second place. I don't think that one's over. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Devin made a bit of a mistake there because he was a bit more ahead of Jay. Jay's still hanging in there, though, at least for the time being. But now it looks like Devin's starting to stretch it out. Can he possibly run laps quicker than Pierre Paolo here? As the tires continue to come up to temperature. Again, Pierre Paolo sets the fastest lap of the race. Devin over a half a second slower. Go ahead, Christian.
Pierre Paolo has run, honestly, a perfect race at both races so far, and he's doing quite well.
We haven't seen a mistake from him at all at any point, as David took the spot back from Mike, I think at the last corner, but he ran it wide through turn 1. But is that a bit of an advantage right there? Although it did throw his line off heading into turn 3. Whoa! Look out! Mike on the brakes. He could have tried to make that work. You could see he was more out of control, though. That thing really stepped out on him, didn't he? Did he hit the grass there, Christian, or did it just come out from him on the brakes?
I think on the outside going into the corner, he just got that back left just in the dirt, which chucked him sideways and basically forced him to go to the inside.
Yeah. Well, you can't say he didn't try it. That was one way to do it, but he just didn't quite follow the move all the way through. I think he was a bit afraid he was going to actually body slam the 44 of David, and, well, he's going to have another chance, I think, though. David did just run it wide there. He's just got to keep pace with him. 110.9 by Pierre Paolo. He really stepped it up that last lap round. He's a full second quicker than these two behind him. He doesn't really have anything to worry about unless he makes a mistake, but he has not put a wheel wrong all night.
That would be even a competitive time in the A group.
I was going to say that as well. That is seriously fast. You'd be quite competitive in the first group as we go back to this battle for second. Just doesn't look like Devin's been able to shake Jay all that much, even though he has been a little bit quicker. Back through 5. Jay got through there very nicely. Now let's see if we can get a run on him. I don't think he's going to be close enough, though. The draft, again, I don't know how many times we have to say it. It just does not want to propel these cars even quicker on this track. Now, maybe another track, but I'm just not sure with this car. As we head down into turn 6. It's pretty even. Pretty sure Devin got through there just a little bit better. Able to wrap the corner. Now down into 7 and 8. Late apex there by Devin, but it just propels him a bit more. Is 8.5 minutes down. And finally, Pierre Paolo looks beatable. He was off by a second that last lap around, and even then these guys still couldn't beat him. So he has just kept it on. As once again, though, Jay did set his personal best lap, but he's starting to lose a bit of touch. It's up to 0.7 of a second now, as he did go a bit wide. As again, Mike going at it. We keep missing this fight. I think David's made a big mistake. I think he spun. Yeah, he's gone way down the order. I'm not sure what happened. He's lost 3 spots. He just crossed the line now. Yeah, he did spin somewhere. I'm not sure where that happened. But there goes all that track position. He was on the cusp of maybe getting onto the podium if those guys ended up making a mistake. 123. He lost 10 seconds with that spin. That's quite costly right there. We apologize, but I'm not sure what happened. I think he ended up spinning through the chicane. Wondering if he took a bit too much curb. Back up to Pierre Paolo. Still leading the race. Look at that. Absolutely perfect through these final couple of corners. It's been lights out, better than everybody.
Hitting every curb perfectly.
Exactly. You don't want to hit the curb too much, is where we saw that actually in the first race with a couple drivers. They take a bit too much curb and nail it over the sausage curb, and that significantly slows you down, Christian, doesn't it? And we've seen before, even some cars, if you hit it wrong, it'll completely reap the steering wheel right from underneath you, and it'll spin you out.
Exactly.
So let's go back to second. Jay's still hanging in there, as they both set their personal best. That last lap around, Jay just a tiny bit quicker, but we're only talking hundredths here. Devin using a lot of track, but I think he's doing it just perfectly where he doesn't need to worry about track limits. Half the race down, half the race still to go. Pretty even between those two. Let's go back to Aiden now. He runs in the top 5, and he's actually gotten right to the back bumper of Mike. He was a second faster than him that last lap around. I'm not sure if Mike made a mistake or Aiden's just completely on it right now. He runs a bit wide through turn 6. I think just behind them, I'm pretty sure David Butcher's closer to John. Here is John. You saw David Butcher, just a glimpse of him right there. He is coming through. As now, Devin sets his personal best lap again and actually eats into Pierre Paolo's lead, but only by a couple tenths. David Butcher out wide through the chicane. We'll focus on this battle for now. Here comes Aiden. Very nicely done through turn 1. That's exactly how you want to do it. Down into turn 3. Wow, he really braked it late through there. Let's see if he can carry a run on the exit. I don't really think so. He got out a bit wide there, Christian, and had to completely back out of it.
And that probably would have given him an X.
That's another thing we have to keep mentioning as well, is your X's right there. You do end up going off the track like that or hitting the grass. That will increase your X count. Unfortunately, there's no real way for us to tell how your X count is unless you're paying attention to the driver the whole time and they don't make any contact or any mistakes at all, as Pierre Paolo steps it up. That last lap around, Mike's a bit wide on the exit, but so is Aiden. He really drove it wide there. But he keeps the speed up, and he's still right on him. I think he's just looking to pick his move. Wow, did he hit the brakes a ton right there? I think he over-braked it, and now there goes a bit more time. Oh, he's wide over the sausage curb. He's lucky he didn't bottom out right there. Well, the top 3 are running pretty consistent lap times right now, all low 111s. I'm not sure if we're going to see any more fastest laps of the race, although Devin just keeps getting better and better as he goes on and eating just slightly into Pierre Paolo's lead. But again, we're only talking a few tenths or a tenth a lap, and he's behind by, I think, 4 seconds there, so he's got a lot more to do. As Pierre Paolo did run it just a tiny bit wide. I think if you want to call that his first mistake of the race, but it's really not costing him anything. He's kind of on cruise control right now, although he did nail the sausage curb right there. Under 7 minutes to go in Group 2's second race. Let's see what the lap times are this time. 1:12.2, so that time he did kind of overstep it. Wow. And again, Devin sets his personal best lap time and closes the gap in by a second. Now we're getting somewhere. It's down to 3.1 seconds. So you're saying there's a chance he could get there if this keeps up. But he's got to keep the hammer down. This might wake up Pierre Paolo. Actually, the lap time changed there. Let's go back to that battle between Aiden and Mike. Still about the same gap. In fact, I think Mike's just slowly pulled away, but Aiden's still trying to track him down, as John has still been able to hold off David Butcher back there. As I say that, here comes David for the move at turn 1. He fires it down in there. I think John figured out, well, you're way quicker than I am right now. I'm just going to let you go and carry on my way. Again, he could be looking at a 0x here if he just keeps it on the island. But you never know. David back up into 6th place. But I don't think he's got any more. That might be as far as he's going to get. Here comes Aiden. Again, closing in. 1:11.5 by our race leader. Slightly quicker that last lap. for Devin, but this time it wasn't nearly as much. Back into the chicane. Aiden driving a bit harder in now, but he missed the apex there. You can see how much wheel he had to put into it, and he nails the sausage curb. I'm not sure if that's going to cost him a little bit. 5 minutes to go. What do you expect now with the end of this race upon us, Christian?
To the looks of it, it looks like Pierre and Devin kind of have it locked away. Jay as well. Mike and Aiden still have a chance to battle for it up until the last lap, and same as John and David.
I'm not sure if John's going to quite get back to David, though, if he ever can. But then again, we saw David. He was really the only guy to make a full mistake or spin in this race. Everybody else has kept it clean. So, goes to show you that these things might be a bit easier to drive than we initially thought. Aiden, whoa, look out. He really used a lot of track right there. He's starting to lose a bit of touch now with Mike. He's about a second back. Let's go back to Jay in third place. He's lost touch with Devin. You can see Devin up the road more there. So back to the race lead. Here's Pierre Paolo. There's Devin. He has closed the gap in, but he's only got 4 minutes to make something happen. And again, he beat him by 2.5 tenths that last lap around. That gap's down to 2 seconds, so he does have a chance. At this rate, I don't know if he's going to get there if he keeps it up or Pierre Paolo steps it up, as I think he just lost a couple tenths right there going through turn 5. Pierre Paolo able to stretch out the gap that little bit more.
You can definitely tell the tire wear. Pierre Pablo hasn't been in the 110 since his fastest lap.
Yeah, and that was in about the middle of the race, was it not?
Exactly. And
So-
now he's hitting 111.6s, which is obviously a lot less.
Yeah, that was another thing that you wanted to make sure of now, as that might be why he's a bit slower now, as he kind of cooked his tires. Devin said that as well at the end of the first race. He said he was kind of taking it easy in the first little bit, only not quite giving it 100%, kind of conserving the tires and then going for it at the end, as he again just set his personal best at a 111 flat. So now, I guess all of a sudden, maybe these guys weren't as hard on their tires as I thought they were. Only 2 tenths off.
Very much working for him, though.
It is. I just don't know if he's going to have enough time to get there at this rate because he's only gaining hundreds. As we go back to this battle between Aiden and Mike, Aiden's just been there, just not close enough to make anything happen. Although he got through there very nicely. Now he's got to run. Can he make this stick? 2.5 minutes to go. I thought he was going to throw it in right there. Wow, that might be a bit cutting it close there with track limits. On the brakes to turn 3. This is as close as he's been. Let's see if he can get this done. Around turn 4, this is where it's going to matter. Right through here at turn 5. It's about even. I think Aiden got through there just a tiny bit better, but he's not close enough. 2 minutes to go. And Pierre Paolo crosses the line. Again, losing a bit to Devin, but it's not enough. He's been in complete control this race since the very start of the race. And again, congratulations to everybody that completely got a nice clean start. No jump starts at all. Again, if you do jump the start, it'll completely compromise your race. And you basically have no chance. You know how long it is to go through the pit lane. Aiden may have lost a bit this time. Trying to use as much of the track as he can. This is only 2 laps to go. We're coming up to 1 to go next time by. Running out of track and running out of time. What does Aiden have to do to make this pass, Christian?
I think, honestly, he might be able to close the gap with a few laps to go, but as you see there, Mike might make a mistake maybe, but from the looks of it, Aiden will probably have to dive bomb it if he really wants that pass.
I think he just went wide. Oh, there's the mistake you just mentioned right there. Mike cut it hard right. That's going to kill his momentum down the straightaway. Here comes Aiden. 1 minute to go. And I believe we're just going to quickly go to Pierre Paolo here. And Devin just set the fastest lap of the race. 1:10.888 on the final lap. These guys are on it. He's going for it right now. Any tires that he's got left, he's going to use it up now. As we go back to this battle, Aiden couldn't quite get him as we went up to the sweeper. Now down into the chicane. This is where he's been a little bit better. I just don't know if he's comfortable with getting right to the back bumper of him. You can see him trying to leave a bit of gap, and he's out. Oh, he's out wide and onto the sausage curb. That might do it. That might do it.
Unfortunate.
He was so close. Meanwhile, up front, Devin's given it a good drive through. He's closed the gap ever since. And he might come away with a few bonus points here with the fastest lap of the race. I believe he's got it down to about a second and a half or so through the final couple of corners. He tried, but he was just too far back. Pierre Paolo, perfect all night long. Comes away with a sweep. Perfect way to start the season. Lights out. Pierre Paolo sweeps at Silverstone and tames Group 2. Devin, great comeback to second. Let's go back to Jay now, who comes through in third. And we'll round out the podium. Same podium as we had earlier in the night.